All right,
Hi everyone!
and we're live.
Okay, first things first. Can you see us and can you hear us? Let us know.
Give us a short feedback so we know everything is working fine.
Yeah. How are you guys?
We hope you're all safe and sound during these times, and we're really glad that you joined us today for this session. So what are we going to be doing today?
Okay. Before we answer it, okay, everything is fine.
Everything's fine?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, so what are we gonna do today? Today we're gonna check your old sketches. So, if you have any questions or you have sketches somewhere sitting around and you're not sure if they are right, if they are good or not, if something's missing, then this live stream is the right for you.
Exactly. If you have any doubts or you have the feeling that you could improve on some of your works, then we'll do our best today to give you our feedback. Many of you have sent your paintings, drawings, or other technique works over to us, and we're really grateful that you had the courage to share it. I know it's not a small thing, and we'll do our best to give you as much value as possible. And for all of you others who haven't sent or haven't had the chance to, or if you're looking at this at a later point, I hope our comments will bring you value, because they will definitely apply to other works as well.
Yeah, for sure. So, if you haven't already, you should subscribe to our channel. Go on Instagram and find our Instagram page on linescapes.drawing, or join our Facebook group Linescapers, where we usually talk to our community, give feedbacks to sketches and similar.
Yeah, it's a great place also to get feedback if you haven't had the chance to send us for this live stream.
Yeah. So let me go to our community a bit.
Yeah, do it.
And say a few hi's. Hi Michael, hi Pamela, hi Priyanka.
Oh, hey all you guys, it's so great to see you again. I'm glad, Pamela, that you made it.
Meg, Sarah, Radka, Ritika.
Hey both of you, nice to see you again.
And then we have Anne Isles, H. Medland. Hello to you too.
Is someone of you with us for the first time? Has any one of you been before to, I mean, a lot of you been before to our live streams, but is someone new? Is someone like a newcomer? If you are, yeah, you're really welcome. I'm glad you're here with us.
Yeah. Send us your work so we can check on it next time, because we were thinking about doing the same module of the live stream next week, so next Friday. And if your sketch will not be shown today, you can still send them to us in the following week, and we can check them out next week.
So yeah, Sonia, we got a lot of drawings, paintings, sketches coming in.
Yeah.
That came in during the last days. I'm really glad you responded so nicely. So we will go through each of them, and I will basically scribble over them in Photoshop. You will see it on the screen, and we'll give you feedback. So if it is your drawing, your work, just shout out, and you can ask extra questions and everything. And if you want to stay silent, no worries, we'll keep it anonymous.
Yes.
And we must say a lot of things are in an area of our expertise. Basically like really sketch-like drawings, environment, landscapes, architecture. This is something we're really good at, and can give you a lot of feedback. And there's also a lot of other stuff that came in that's great, and we'll do our best to give you our feedback on it, although it might not be our area of expertise. But in general, I think we could say a word or two.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Should we dive into the first one?
Yes, let's do. Are you ready?
Yeah? All right, so let's head over to Photoshop. All right, and we already have the first sketch here. So Sonia and I will discuss it quick, and then I will do our best to draw something or give feedback. So maybe let's not take red, because it maybe looks
What if you take blue, for example?
We could take blue.
Usually when I worked with clients in our office, I was always using blue because red is just like, you know,
Yeah, we don't wanna.
let's go back to school and use red, and then you get like an B or C minus or something. And
All right. So basically, I really like this sketch. It's a nice sketch of alpine or mountainous landscape. I like how there has been a lot of abstraction, basically. Right? We have this first area around here. Okay, I have to figure out how to make my pencil work. This has just been working before. Why is it not working now? Yep.
so if you have any questions, even if it's not from the person who draw this, you can also ask questions. That's no problem. Maybe you will also help
Alright.
other
Yes.
viewers.
All right, we got it. All right, so
Which color are you using?
okay, I'll be going back to blue, so you can see what we suggest. My first suggestion would be to what I like is that you have these different layers. You have the one of the mountains in the back, then you have the darker one from this mountains a bit closer. Then you have the layer of the trees, and up front you have this path. And this is the layer I would take more time to work on. So I would say you would maybe add something here, like add more of these details. More stones. And then I would definitely add maybe some more grass. So we get a nice area up front, right? Sonia, what would your suggestion be?
I would probably concentrate more on the gravel texture in front and not so much in the back.
Yeah, what if we just do it with black? Maybe it would be better.
Yeah.
Visible.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, because of course when you're walking on the road and you look in front of your feet, in front of your shoes, you see the gravel pretty clearly, right? And then when you look in front of you in the direction of horizon, you see that the texture of the gravel is not so clear anymore, and that's what we wanted to say.
Yeah. So we would do more detail up front.
Yeah, more detail up front.
Yeah.
Less detail when you just proceed.
I will also make these dark, because this area is pretty empty still. So I would add some more details in this area. There's always some things. Even if you think it's just grass, you can always see some stuff.
So when you say more detail, can you explain what you mean with that?
There's always, when you look at the landscape, there's always some texture. There's either grass or there's gravel, there's stones. So these are the things I'm looking for when I say more detail, right? Okay. All right. I think it's already was better. Did anyone say that it's theirs?
No one.
No one spoke up.
No one spoke up.
All right. If you have any questions to this one, feel free to ask. Else we'll be moving on to the next one. All right, let's see what we've got next. We got a couple to cover, so, right?
Yeah. I think we all in all we have 20 sketches, and if you just focus on one sketch for 2 minutes, then I think we're gonna be good.
We're gonna be good. All right.
Yeah.
So, Sonia, what do you think about this one?
Okay, so this is a stream, and then we have trees. I think the trees are a bit too small, the ones on the right side. I would make them a bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah, I think that almost,
Yeah.
I'm almost sure they're probably taller, yeah.
Yeah, so the first one should be the biggest, and then when you proceed to the room, the trees should be smaller.
Yeah, so
Because that's the perspective. The trees in front of you are bigger, and then when you have this perspective view, they get smaller and smaller, and that's why you can also see now it functions much better, because the stream, when it goes uphill where the water comes from, it's like a narrow path. It looks like it's a really narrow stream, and then it gets bigger. That's one thing.
Then there is the thing about the water in general. So drawing water, a lot of people have been asking this, how do we draw water? So this is basically general, will work for any kind of water in general. Yeah? Draw horizontal lines for water, right? So when you're drawing water texture, basically it's, especially when it's like an ocean or like a lake or something, especially then you need to start with drawing horizontal lines, because this is how the water, the light reflects off water mostly.
Would you do the same texture even if it's a stream or a river?
Yeah, I would do it as a base. As a base, I would do it also, because I think especially when it goes into the horizon in the back, it's more abstract. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Duri. Duri just said we gave good advice. Do you also have any other questions, like something to water or the stones or anything? Do you have any questions how to draw some certain element of the landscape?
So what I'm doing right now is, now after I created this horizontal lines, I added some more texture to show, you know, the places where the water is, I don't know what the English word is for that, you know, where it's like rolling and foaming and wild, and you have to be careful if you go over it with your canoe. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we also got 2 questions.
Right.
Pamela asked, is water always use horizontal line even from the other side, not from front side?
Yeah, always horizontal, Pamela, because light will always reflect. Whenever you will move around water, light will always reflect in a way that it will look horizontal to where you stand, right?
Okay. Loop a loop, water splashes maybe from the rocks?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you just draw.
That's what I wanted to say, yeah. The splashes. So what I drew here is another spruce, and because I had a feeling that something's missing there, this big white area was a bit empty, and so I just invented one, which is a good point when drawing. Sometimes you just have to invent things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so Kate and John, that's about as good an explanation as any. So I think we're good, and we can also proceed to our next sketch.
Let's go. Alright, so who is the author here? And if the author is here, you can gladly speak up. But I don't know if you know, but I love drawing trees.
Yeah,
right? I love drawing trees.
Gaspar is really an expert.
Okay, so thanks. The basics are really good here. So basically, when you start drawing a tree, you do think about it in terms of tree clumps, because every branches grow out of the tree, and there are always basically groups of leaves that create this illusion of clumps. But this tree looks a bit empty, so what is also always visible is not just the front clumps, but also like the back of the tree, right? So these are maybe the branches up front, but then we also have like probably, you know, the whole part behind it is visible as well. And this would be a darker part, so I would add some, you know, I have to do it in color now, and maybe we'll see how that works. Yeah, looks okay. So what I would do definitely here is add some more at the background of the tree, you know, at the tree crown. It does have usually, sometimes has holes in it. This is totally fine. But mostly it's one closed form, right?
Yeah, usually you can really recognize the tree. What kind of tree is it based on the habitus, right? I mean, you can see it in the distance and you can say, wow, that's a spruce, for example.
Yeah, this is a great point. You can really draw it in a way that it's recognizable. Now, another thing that will give it a bit more depth is I would basically make more shadow where the tree trunk goes into the tree crown. So basically the bottom of the tree trunk will usually be much lighter than the top of the tree trunk. You can almost like go into a very black yeah. And then one more thing, twigs, right? This is what will make this tree really I think realistic. Like every branch has this twigs going out of it, and you know, this is also a great way to give a realistic, more authentic feeling to a tree. And what Sonia as well said, like twigs sometimes also tell what kind of tree it is, you know?
Yeah. And you can also imagine these twigs are like fingers of the tree.
Yeah.
If you have like, imagine this tree is a creature with many arms and it has many fingers, and it holds these forms, these clumps of leaves together.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Any questions on this point, guys? All right.
An architecture sketch, yes.
Who is the author? I think you can gladly speak up for this one. I mean, this is amazing.
Say it loud and proud.
Say loud and proud, yeah, definitely.
I'm the owner of this sketch.
Okay, so let me just get it as big as possible so you can see what is going on. All right. Okay, so what I like about this one is that it leaves a lot of details out, right? When you draw architecture and you really want to focus on a part of the building, this is generally good, I think, for every kind of drawing, that you focus on one part, right, of the view. You know, if it's a landscape, you focus on one part. If it's a building, maybe you focus on one part of the building. If it's a person, you always focus on you know, maybe sometimes you focus on a part of the face or something. So it's good in general to have a focus, and I like it here because this is rendered out. You know, this is nicely already made, but the rest is a bit more undefined. Yeah, Sonia? You sound like you're about to give a wise comment.
No, I think that was a great start, and I would probably even if I would continue in that where you started, when you started adding the dark between those wooden pillars.
So a bit more contrast, right?
Yeah. So that you get a feeling of depth between the architectural elements.
Yeah, yeah.
And probably I would also define an additional angle or two of this architecture, because now at this moment you don't really have the feeling what kind of architecture is it, and I would probably add just maybe the outline of the architecture.
All right.
Or maybe like this part here, just because the lines here and here are so strong, maybe here would be another additional.
So a bit more lines, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just that the lines need to support each other in a sense that they frame something, that they are so connected that your eye is not searching all the time through the drawing what have you drawn, and you need to help your eyes and your brain with those support lines, so it gets the feeling, okay, so this is one piece, this is one architecture, one element.
Yeah, that's why I'm outlining basically the whole building right now. So this is what I wanted to say before. You know, give an outline to the whole thing, but just give detail and depth and contrast to one part, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So do the outline first, and then, as here, this was a great example where just one part was detailed out.
Yeah.
It made sense, and probably takes less time to just focus on one element that you would like to emphasize.
Yeah.
Okay, we also had a few questions here. Whoa, that sketch, that's amazing sketch, but not mine, said Pamela.
Yeah, we're waiting for the author to come forth. We will see.
Priyanka, I had a question about a quick way of showing leaves, foliage on a tree. do we have another? Maybe we can do it in additional sketch. There are a few sketches coming where there will be some new trees. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
All right. So I really like this one. I mean, this is actually quite great, because it has, you know, this dark edge. I really like how how this basically ties the whole sketch together.
Mm-hmm.
What I think that here could be done better is that you could get the composition better. And now I'll try to explain something called the rule of thirds. This applies to many of the things you sent us, and it's such a simple thing that will help you make your works better right away. Basically, this is amazing. So, you know, everyone, hear me out. It applies to all kinds of visual work. Be it graphic design, be it art. It's just a natural thing. So, okay. So, I just divided this page on vertical and horizontal thirds. And it's great it's natural for us to find it harmonious if you put your focal point on one of the intersections of the horizontal and vertical thirds. So here, the house is the focus point, and it's placed on the intersection. So this is quite good. But the problem is, the person who did this already made a frame, you know, as if the sketch is ending here. In order to the rule of thirds to work, you would have to, you know, continue with your sketch and make some trees here, continue with that tree, you know, continue here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sonia, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is great. I had one additional comment that's not related to composition.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's one really good advice, and especially if the question is also, why are you framing your sketches? Is there a need for it? For example, in this case, why do you want to frame it? Why do you want to just have this border? Maybe you can just leave the line away and see if you can still change something, because this line is really like limiting you to one format, right? What I would maybe say is that this house, it looks like it sits somehow funny in this drawing, and what I would wish here in this case is that it would have more of perspectual feeling. So the facade that's facing us should be a bit higher, and then it should get just a small feeling that it's just like, you know, that it's narrowing in the direction of just a bit, like, you know, you need to get this feeling as if everything flows slowly in one point on the horizon somewhere.
All right.
Okay, so for everyone who just joined, if you would like to send us your sketches, you can do that by going to Instagram page linescapes.drawing and post us a comment or a photo in the chat, or you can go to our Facebook group Linescapers, and you can do that there as well. So we just went through a few sketches right now, and we're gonna continue that for another half an hour, so you didn't miss much. So welcome everyone who just joined. Okay.
All right, so I know who this sketch is by, and you can be totally proud and step forward and say it's yours, because I think it's amazing, and we'll just give you a few short tips how to make it even better. So the first thing that I noticed with this one is that the reflection of the buildings in the sky and the water. So this is also for everyone who wants to draw some reflections. The thing is, all the reflections, no matter from which angle you look at them, they will always be vertical, right? they will always be, let me take a red to show you what I mean, they will always be vertical and be, let's say if this is the building, they will always reflect vertically downwards, right? So here there's this already, with this building it's already great. What I'm missing is like this building, here like it's where it should be reflecting. Also this here, this is supposed to be the reflection. So let's do that.
Okay, San, I don't know which sketch was yours. Sorry, because we try to keep this correction anonymous, and we said that if you would like to shout out when your sketch is up, you can do that. But I'm not sure. Till now we checked. What did we check till now? We had a tree. We had a tree, we had
a landscape, we had some architecture. It will be a replay, so
okay.
You can always
San sent design sword. No, then yours was not.
I think when did you send it? I didn't like. Did you send it just like a couple of minutes ago? Because if not, I didn't. If you did, I wasn't able to include it this time.
So probably then next week.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, so this is already, I think,
wow.
Working quite well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I hope this is helping you, the person who did this, and yeah, you'll get some value out of it. Everyone else, I hope you agree. It's a great and nice watercolor painting.
Yeah, for sure. I think so as well.
All right, let's move on. So now we have one that's also showing the scene which it was drawn from, which is great because we can really give you feedback on that. You know, drawing live from nature is always a challenge. So let's look at this.
Okay, Retika also asked, would the shadow be at the different angle with respect to the time of the day for the last sketch? Yes.
Yeah, obviously.
But do you mean reflection in water or just the shadow on the architecture? For the architecture, for sure. I mean, it depends on how the sun moves, and through that also creates shadows. And for the water as well. Those two are linked together.
Okay, so with this one, it's like basically the view is quite complex. You know, I can show you here actually. We have this pond here, right? This is one layer. You know, you can think of layers and shapes like abstracting landscape. Then we have this line of trees coming in from here, and then we have this line of trees in the back there, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So this is what we want to replicate in the sketch. So what I'm doing basically is like, oh, not this. Go away. Away with you. Funny line. Yes. All right. So basically I will just repeat this, what I just saw on the sketch, and right away we have already a better feeling of it. And then what we already learned today is horizontal lines to make the water texture, right? No matter what direction you're looking the water at. Yeah.
And you can also leave a bit of space so the texture for the water is seen, and do just this the plants in the foreground, just like individual plants on the side, so that they frame your point of view.
This is a good point. I'll just do it right now, what Sonia said. So if I understood you right, Sonia, is like a couple of these water vegetation.
Yeah.
What's it called? What are these plants called that you know? Maybe the internet knows.
Yes.
maybe we'll give the community
The reeds?
the reeds.
I don't know.
The reeds.
Let's see. I'm
Are there the reeds?
gonna Google also the photo so that.
It's probably the reeds. All right.
Yes, it's the reeds.
It's the reeds. Okay.
Yeah, the reeds. Thank you.
Hey Zoe. Oh, Zoe, did you just come here?
Yes, reeds. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Now we have an architecture building. So whoever drew it, you can gladly come forth. Zoe, we already did your drawing. If you're comfortable with everyone everyone knowing which one it is, we can blend it in again. But else, we're keeping this anonymous today.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is. I like the way the architecture is drawn, but you have to know that this is like as if you would be drawing and looking at it from high above, right?
Yeah. It has even a bit this axonometrical point of view, right? Where you have like surfaces open to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is also great to to design drawings and think about them. I think this is completely legitimate. What I would do with this one, and San just said it's his or hers. Yeah, what I would do first of all, I think I would give it a bit more surroundings, right?
Yeah, San finally got she got his turn.
Yeah, we got a lot of drawings for you from you, so we couldn't do all of them, but we'll do our best to. We picked the one that we are feeling the most comfortable with giving you feedback. So, as I think I remember, you did this from imagination. So you can also imagine more things. The building, it's great. Now it needs more context, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not so alone. So I would say, you can consider, there was probably like maybe a tree.
Maybe you can play a game. When we were still in our studies, our professor said, "Okay, so who's your neighbor? Who's your neighbor? How does this neighbor look like? What does he do? Is he like really shy and doesn't want to be seen by other neighbors?" And then you would just add some tree in the background because this neighbor wanted to have many trees in front of his fence, for example, or something.
Yeah, so there's the neighbor's house.
Yeah, or maybe you say, well, this is a really expensive house, and it's in the area of Central Park, and that's why you just draw some elements that are usually well known for that particular area.
So what I'm doing now is I'm giving it also a bit of a frame, so it will pop out, as the bright element. The tree behind it is dark. Now the trees on the neighbor's side are darker, and all this helps your building basically pop up out a bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And now really quickly, I would just add some other layers to make it to give it a certain depth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, what else? Maybe you could add one additional line or two like you did here, so right. that it's not floating.
Yeah.
What we're saying always for the elements, for the trees or for the houses or for any other built elements, that you need to ground them somehow on the surface. So otherwise they are just floating around, and you want to prevent that. And what Gaspar did is he just grounded this building, this object, through that he created a few lines, a bit of texture, and now this house is sitting a bit better. Mm-hmm. And he also created a background, colored it in, and through that this object just got in the foreground. Yeah.
Yeah.
And since this architecture is a bit away from us, right? It's not so directly in front of us. it wouldn't be, yeah, I mean, it's okay if the details are also not so precise. Like you wouldn't add any leaves for the trees or for the vegetation in the background. You can leave this away.
And I added some horizon to have depth.
Yes. Awesome.
Okay. Let's move. All right. So this is the one we did together on the live stream 2 days ago on Wednesday, the April 1st. Sonia, would you mind giving a bit of feedback on this one? You always have to look at it, from far away. Like maybe we turn it around.
Maybe what would be nice is adding a bit more texture for the grass,
Mm-hmm.
so that you really get this feeling that it's a slopey area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And since you're using more this pen effect of a brush, you can also add a gravel for the path.
Mm-hmm.
Some stones, like small stones.
So like a bit more of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then more gravel here, more detail up front.
Yeah. Then maybe you can also add some sort of dark point that would emphasize the end of the road.
Oh right, yeah. The road that it basically ends in a. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that.
Yes. Okay. What else? Yeah, I think that's nice.
Yeah.
Then maybe the this outline of this pasture field could be a bit more clear.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, this is obviously very hard to do with watercolors because they flow. You have to be really patient to do what I just did here. To make a clear edge, right?
Yeah. And maybe you, as an expert on vegetation, can also try to define those clumps of trees in the background.
All right. So this is supposed to be a forest edge, right? So what I would do when I draw forest from afar, I would do I would maybe give it a bit of a texture, like a bit of a color, and then an edge, a dark edge on the bottom, right? So it gets this deep shadow that's always under the trees, right? Like that. Right. Okay.
Okay. Sansan also asked, can we add fence for the sketch that we just corrected before? Well, there was one fence already, so I would not add another one. I think it was not needed to add another fence there. Okay.
So I would say shout out who it is by, but it's already signed. So okay, let's look at this one. I really like this. It has nice layering, between the layers. And now I will show you, because we have a nice reference photo again. I can show you again how important it is to diversify different areas of your drawing. So first of all, as you already noticed, and Pamela did correctly. You divided this in the first layer, like I said, first layer. Then we see the second, maybe the second layer is this group of trees, right? And this is also with it. And then is this third layer. And then you define the fourth layer of these mountains.
Can you see this one as well?
Exactly. I think this is a good point. I would add one layer in between.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially because.
And maybe this one too, right? Here on the right side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives something to this repetition of these diagonal lines, gives something more to the sketch. And what I wanted to say is that, for example, those two mountain peaks, they divide like mirror, like your drawing or painting into halves, and usually you try to avoid that even if that's important, if you want that they like, yeah, just sit nicely in your painting, you need to give them some sort of weight, because now maybe it was a bit too heavy because of all this weight of color, and what Kasper trying to create now is just like to break this form a bit with one layer in between, so that it works somehow easier and has a bit more context around it.
Yes.
Yeah, Pamela, you see, huh? Pamela, it's a beautiful work.
Okay.
Pamela, that's really cool. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We think so too.
Yeah,
It's
I love
a
it.
really, really
Yeah,
beautiful
so you
painting.
can go back to your drawing and add this layer in
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah.
See those small points, everyone. So it's always a good idea on the horizon where your let's say your plane meets any sort of mountains or city
Yeah.
or whatever. There are always some darker points, so
Yeah.
you can add them to give
Yeah.
a feeling of depth.
Pamela, your task for today is to correct this painting and then send us this painting in our Facebook group, so that we can see the end result.
Yeah, or you can send us on Instagram if you don't have Facebook.
Or that, yeah.
But on Facebook is great because all the other landscapers can also admire it and give you feedback. Okay, now I really like this one because it's obviously from Japan. Do we have someone from Japan here?
Pamela. Pamela said, "Yeah, I was confused with that part too. Thank you for your feedback." And she said, "Okay, teachers, we hope you're gonna do it." Yeah. Also, M. Moody. Thanks for commenting on my drawing. Your comments would help me improve my watercolor skills.
Awesome. Really glad that it helps you.
Yeah, that we can do that.
So right now with this one I'm doing basically the same thing I just did with the one before, which is add some dark areas on the horizon. Now this is a bit different from, let's say, painting when you have full colors. But when you're sketching with the line, it's a very good idea to add some dark colors on your horizon, because it will make it will create depth and add depth to the drawing, and it will create this feeling of perspective.
So that's from Kate and John. It's from Japan.
Oh,
but,
right.
But not theirs or not mine. And Gasper, I would like to ask you: are you up for a challenge?
I'm up for a challenge. I'm always up for a challenge.
Okay, so I would say that I will just get a timer, and I will set it for 2 minutes.
So I have to correct them in 2 minutes?
Yes.
All right,
so
let's do it.
Let's just think about what's the most important thing that we need to correct, so that we give as many as you, our viewers, a chance to get the correction.
All right, guys.
Yeah?
This might mean I will start talking faster. But
Sweat
it's okay.
a bit.
It's okay. It's like our live drawing courses when we have it with our students.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay. So dark horizon in the back, and I just added straight lines up front, because the houses, actually, when you have a perspective, still all the vertical lines are straight. Okay, boom, we have it. Let's continue.
Okay.
All right, we have another of the watercolor ones. Sonia, give me like a couple of tips.
I mean, this one is so amazing. Probably you see this part. This should be like an open stone. It was like just.
This should have more contrast to the background, right?
First of all, more contrast to the background, and second one, this part was a stony part. So maybe you can add just a few stone textures, like in mountains.
Yeah.
Because it was just like someone would cut it, or a part of this hill would just break away or something.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think now it has a bit of more contrast, but now the background, the valley, has to be a bit darker here.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I would do that as well.
Hey, this ticking is like
annoying.
freaking me out.
Okay. I.
No, it's fine. It can be.
I put it away.
It's fun. It's not like, freaking me out in a negative way. It's like freaking me out in a fun way.
And can you also add maybe one just background line that binds the whole horizon line together.
Right, so this in the background, this is getting a bit smudgy. So I think it would be nice to define like this background.
Sure, Sam. Just come back when you have time. This video will be uploaded after the live stream, so you can watch it whenever you want.
Yes.
And we also got a comment. Who's that from? That's from Priyanka. A very nice sketch.
Yeah, love it, really. So we don't have much to say. Just I would define more this last layer of mountains, and that's it.
With a bit lighter line.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was it for that sketch. Let's move on.
It's fun doing this.
Okay.
Okay, now we're coming to an area of sketches where we're not the best expert. Let's say this. Because you guys, and I'm really glad you did, you send us all kinds of difference of techniques and of subjects, and are, let's say, we're the best at drawing spaces. So when we come to objects and characters, we need, we can give you feedback, but we're not have the skill to show you, but I'll do my best.
Well, I can help you a bit.
Yeah, okay, so first of all, what my thing would be, when you're drawing, let's say, plastic, or when you're drawing products, because I know from my product design friends, when you do textures, don't do it like a, like this crisscross texture, but try to give it like a linear texture. Try to give it something that has the feeling of let's say, of some artificial material. It's a good idea, I will zoom in a bit more, to try to make the strokes not so visible. So, I'm just drawing over them with a flat pen, and I would say if you're drawing it with a pencil, try to make the strokes as little visible as possible, and if not, try to keep them all in the same direction, right? Okay, then it's interesting because you have two objects. I like that. I would say shading is something you could still work on a bit.
Do you know how to do an oval?
Yeah.
Can you show them just like how it looks like?
Shading?
No, the oval. How do you create an oval? That you just create two circles in between, and then you just.
So what Sonia is referring to is the top of the mug, and so if you want to draw an ellipse or oval, what you do is basically you draw two small circles, and then you have this line in the middle. So and then your oval basically it's hard to do it on a tablet. Is as if the 2 points have small circles in them.
Wow. We got a super chat from Zoe. Thank you, Zoe.
Zoe, thanks a lot.
You're awesome.
Thanks a lot for your support.
Yeah.
I still have to blend in your sketch real quick, so to tell you what we did.
And Michael, we're sorry to let you go at this point, but please come again. Yours is the street scene with the mountain in the background. Come back, and you're gonna hear our comment as well.
Yeah. So once again, just quick thing here. Look, when shading this cup, basically if light is coming from the left side, right, then we have the left side of the cup, outside of the cup on the left is brighter, and then here it should be darker, but the inside of the cup is darker on the opposite direction, because the light is coming in from this direction. So this is, I think, something you could improve on a bit.
Okay, let's move on. Zoe, thank you very much. I'm happy that it worked, even if PayPal didn't work. I'm happy that you found a way, because thank you for your support. That means really a lot.
And just to sum it up, go back and watch the video, what we just told, what we just gave feedback on this. It mostly has to do with the reflection in the water. Apart from that, really love the painting.
Yes. Okay, so.
Okay, right. So now we're getting into an area where we also have a lot of colors. What I would say with this one is basically the same thing as with the others and the rule of thirds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we divide this really fast if it's yours, please shout out if you want to. I can give you more feedback.
It's amazing. The colors are beautiful, very harmonious. We don't have anything to say to color scheme.
Yeah, I think you picked a very, and these are pastels, right?
Yeah. Loopa Loop. Okay, this is from Loopa Loop.
All right. So look, this will, I think, already massively improve it. I already like that you have your horizon on your lower third. What I would add is like, you need a focal point or one of these intersections, like here or here, right? So I think if we blend this away a bit, I think you could like continue, if it's like a ship, you know, going into the horizon here, or maybe there's something more on these rocks, you know, I don't know, a mermaid. I'm totally
it depends what kind of feeling would you like to create. Yeah. Because for me, I see it like really like peaceful, relaxing painting, and I would probably just add like a bigger stone and just leave it like it is, because it has almost like this feeling of Zen garden or Japanese garden. So because it depends on technique, right? It's not always everything about detail.
All right, so rule of thirds applies to basically any technique, anything. All right, now we got a character, a portrait in anime style or manga style, and rather, I must admit, I'll just be completely honest with you, I'm really new to portrait drawing, but I have been delving into this topic a bit now, and also I really like cartoonish kind of style, so I can give you a couple of comments. I think the overall portrait I quite like. You know, it's like the eyes are, you know, he's looking a bit downward, so this is where his head would be. The eyes are supposed to be on the half of the head. So I think this works. Maybe they could be a bit higher. What I think, there are two things in general that I think, if you want your character to stand out, you know what you did in the background, you gave it like a bit of context, so it's not empty. You know, give it this context all the way. You know, if you want it to stand out, either make it darker than your character, which would be, I think it would be great if you made it darker than your character, so it would stand out, or make it lighter than your character if you want to give it a bit of context. You want your thing to be in focus, right?
Okay, that was 2 minutes.
Right, so this is what I would say. And another thing which I cannot give you that much feedback on, but I see it, work on your hand drawing, right? This hand in front seems a bit out of proportion. I think like this finger here should be a bit longer, and I have a feeling that this thumb is a bit too pointy and it should be a bit smaller. So hands are something really hard, but I'm pretty sure if you got his face that far, you're gonna get there. All right, an interior sketch. Boom, all around perspective.
Okay, so H. Madland said something on the right side would make it more balanced from the ocean scene. So our viewers are still on the sketch from before. Yeah, probably. I mean, there are a lot of things that you can do in one sketch. They also mentioned the dramatic clouds. Okay, like, and Zoe also comment like the ones you would have in a stormy sky, or those pretty fluffy ones that reflect the sunset light beautifully. I think that's all the sketch from before. Yeah, I'm sorry, we just need to take this time to try and show as many sketches as possible, because we still have like the third to go, and we won't be able to show all the sketches.
So basically the only thing I have here is like more shading. I think these corners around the window are especially in contrast. So what I just did is basically I think this, like that. Just shading on the curtains, I think will give it a bit more depth.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And this is an empty space, just make a bowl here of or a plant or a cat. A cat is good. Or something to give it, something in the foreground.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So everyone, sometimes it's really the thing that you what does we had?
Zoe said, I love the drama, some drama in the sky, and the idea with curtains is also amazing. Sanya, which one was yours? The curtains one? The ones with curtains? Okay, so and now we're further on this lovely plant.
Abelis perennis, very nice. This is Latin for daisy, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I like the style. This is like a very nice botanical drawing of it. I think I would add a bit more darker areas here where the leaves meet. Like you see that immediately it becomes a bit more realistic. Give it a bit of shading. The same thing we said with the last one, with the room with the curtains. Shading sometimes will really save you. Save you. You don't need saving, obviously, but so doesn't your sketch. But it will make it even cooler, right?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So this is obviously done with alcoholic markers. So you usually, if someone didn't try that before and would like to, start with lighter tones, and then it's like basically similar to watercolors.
Beautiful.
Start with lighter shades and lighter tones, and then add the darker ones for the depth, and try to mix the lighter tones with the darker tones, so that you get like a smooth like this smooth transition.
Oh, right. So we're going on. Like I said, we are getting out of our comfort zone as well here for you guys, and giving you feedback on stuff we're not complete experts on, but still I can give you something. You see, everyone, this is like the horizontal lines. I will paint it with red so you see what I mean. Drawn here for water, amazing. Now we come to this plop when a stone or a fish jumped out. Because everything is perspective, this shouldn't be concentric circles, but it should be like concentric ellipses, right? Ovals. So this is the only thing, basically, I would say, and correct in this painting, right? So this will give you the right feeling of, and then they, slowly become straight. This
yes.
And actually they're around her feet as well, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you stand, there's like there's this concentric circles around. Yeah.
Actually, now I would wish that there would be another circle somewhere, like here, that those two circles wouldn't be the only ones. That there would be another one.
Yeah. Good.
Loop a loop. Maybe we can pop out the girl in the painting.
How we pop it? I think she's pop. I mean, the light is obviously coming from front, so we would make her pop out more if we did a bit of lighter background. I mean, she's obviously silhouette, because we can also see in her reflection that the light is coming from the front because it's like a shadow. If we wanted to do it another way, she would have to be really bright, and then the water behind her would be darker, right? Okay. We've got 5 more to go, everyone. Bam. Okay.
Yeah.
Something very abstract, very colorful.
Yeah. That's something that my father would prefer. That he would like it a lot.
What I have, the only thing, because this is so abstract and it's your style, and it's hard to say anything like what about how to change it. But 2 things we can give you. First thing is like you did it already, nice composition. You have this figure, a female figure, and then you have the sun. But I think the flowers underneath are too big. They're we need to bring it like in a situation like this, right? What do you say, Sonia?
I would probably even put them even more in the corner, so that the feeling of the triangle is a bit stronger.
Yes, like this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this. Okay, so we have also a few comments. One was maybe use the edge lightning, maybe that was the
Oh yeah.
for the girl that should pop out.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Lupa Loop, do you mean this is like mixed media painting? It looks like it, right? I think so too. Sanya said, thank you for the feedback for the anime, looking forward to correct my mistakes. Yeah, we also are looking forward to seeing the corrected version. So Shilpa said, that's mine painting. So nice to see it here.
Yeah, I hope we gave you. I just rephotoshopped the flower into a smaller version, and you see this triangle that emerged now. I think this is something that you want to go for in all of your paintings, no matter abstract or realistic. You know, this is like a nice harmonious relation between these three elements. So yeah, I think the flowers were in too much competition.
Yeah.
With the figure. Okay. So now we've got 4 more. All right. We got an astronaut drowning in space sand.
Is it space sand or is it a black hole?
Wow.
Swallowing.
Oh, we're getting deep here.
Yeah.
So
maybe the author should just explain what's it all about. Maybe it has some additional meaning to it.
Yeah. So,
okay, additional 2 minutes.
Yeah. So what I would do is just like I would add some reflections to this astronaut. This helmet is like we would wish to see his or her face, but we can't. So maybe we have to see some reflection of the stars at least, and something. So it gives it a bit more life and mystery. And I like how this is basically a negative, and I would be very consistent with filling out those white spaces. You scratched it out. Is this like a scratch out, or is it a white pencil?
Hi Tina. Tina just joined us. She's a bit late, but still, we just corrected around 20 sketches, I think, and we have 4 more to go.
What I would do here is also, you see this white. Now we have the triangle of whites, right? We have this planet here. We have the astronaut's backpack, and I would make the gloves white actually.
Yeah. I was also considering making a few elements white.
Yeah.
Maybe if the suit is white, then I would all the elements that were usually red or blue, I would just color them white.
Yeah, like suit, parts of the suit, right, to make it a bit more lively. Look at it; it's coming to life. Now this planet has to be white as well. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Let's continue.
Okay, now we have
the awesome dragon.
Some creature design. Okay, so normally I wouldn't be able to give you comments on this, but I can because I did happen to have a course on concept design in university, and we actually did design creatures like that. One thing I would consider is, this is for everyone, for portraits or like creatures, is always think about what the creature actually looks under the skin. It has to make sense. So this is probably a skull, right, from this creature, and then it has a spine. Because no matter how fantasy-like you go, it's always good to have like a real-life Earth reference, because this makes it more believable. And once you start applying these bones, you suddenly see, okay, actually maybe this neck here should be a bit thinner, and this belly here should be a bit thicker. It will make it a bit more believable, and this tail a bit, should get thinner and thinner and thinner. So this is a simple trick. You probably already know this if you're like into this character design, but this is like what I would quickly recommend, which would then basically turn it into something like this. Maybe well, I think it's I think it's something I would say.
Mm-hmm. Gasper, great job on correcting as you speak. Great skill on the tool there.
Oh, thanks. I had a lot of practice on that one. And we had both, you know, we usually have to talk a lot when we work with our students. Okay, that's the great dragon. If, you know, the person who is with us, tell us something about this creature. I'd be interested.
Yeah, no one did a shout out for the creature, but H. Madland said that he loves that creature.
It's great how diverse our community is. I'm really glad that all of you are following us with your different styles and amazing skills. Because this one, I don't know what can I say. Your pencil drawing skills obviously are way better than mine.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. Sonia?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Well, maybe if we're searching for something, because we're just like, yeah.
Adita, that's yours, right? Awesome.
I mean, what maybe could be seen here is a bit of the face, maybe just the outline a bit more.
Yes.
Since you can see it from the child.
Yes.
And you would wish that this hair wouldn't just cover the whole face, the whole side of the face.
I would be so glad to see a bit of the mother, you know, just to have this small outline. I think it's almost visible here. You already wanted to do it, but I would love to see more. Whoa, my line just ran away. No, oh my God, what did I draw?
Where is it? Okay.
Sometimes Photoshop
Yeah.
lags. So I gave her like a, you know, 1/2 meter big chin.
Oh, our community is amazing. That's so great. I wish I could draw people, said Pamela.
There you go.
Also Tina joined with wow, amazing. Louis said your explanations are amazing and so helpful. We'll send one soon. Yes, you should.
You definitely should.
Send more than one.
This is fun. So my Photoshop is lagging right now, but I can tell you again, Adita, this is amazing. Exactly. I would just, you know, wish to see more of this mystery. Right now it's like a scene, you know, from a photo. And I would wish to get to know the lady and her child more a bit, you know, through the drawing. So
yeah.
A bit of the face would be amazing. Yeah, and I think you already know how to do it, so I can just give you this general. Okay, last one. Boom. Who is this by? This amazing raven in a field of, or what are these, like?
Do you know in Slovene what that is?
The plants?
Yeah.
No idea, but they look good. So this is obviously an amazing illustration. I like it. And with illustration, it's all a lot about the style, I would say, right? And I think you have a style that's at such a level that would be hard to give a lot of comments to. Sonia? It's awesome. I love it.
It all depends on the context. My first thought was that I would probably add some, I don't know, some pebbles or something, so that the feet of the bird would be,
yes,
you know, just sitting somewhere. But on the other side, you didn't draw any for the plants as well. So, I mean, it could also be like statement of the artist or something that you can use. It depends on what are you using this graphic for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're totally right. I would agree. I would definitely second that. And the thing I would add is like in this area you have a bit of the bird is merging with the plants a bit. So I would make it darker, the bird darker, so the plants come into the foreground and we have a better spatial feeling, right?
I would probably make it even more dark.
Even darker, right?
Yeah, even darker. Tina said that maybe these are the bell flowers, the campila.
Yeah.
Flowers. Carlos, hi from Portugal. I'm also a landscape architect and I only want to thank you for your time, good examples and teaching skills. Thank you.
Carlos, I'm really glad that you're here. I'm glad that all of you are here. This is immense fun. So yeah, look at it. Now I think the flower is even more in the foreground and it complements the bird quite nicely.
Yeah. this looks like a tattoo, right?
Yeah.
This would be like a great.
I would have a tattoo like that. Yeah.
You would?
I would.
Where?
I don't know. On my forehead. Awesome.
Well, I think this is it for today.
We're really glad that you stay with us, and it's been a great experience working and giving feedback on your drawings. So I will blend this quite in quickly. We hope to see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow we're gonna have oh no, this is the wrong one. Oh no, that's right. Relaxation with drawings. So Saturday, April 4th, relaxation with drawings. And then on Monday, again, we'll have at 7 p.m. Central European time. Also tomorrow, it's again 7 p.m. So 2 hours later than today, Central European time. So tomorrow, relaxation with drawings. Monday is another creative exercise.
Yeah, so this is it for today. If you would like to get a comment on your sketches, please share them with us. We would love to give you a feedback. Thank you for joining us today. It was so fun to read all these comments, and we would also like to say, yeah, thanks for just sticking with us.
And a big shout out to every and each one of you who send us drawings.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to step out of your comfort zone and ask someone for a critique, and it's so I really appreciate that, and I respect you for that. And it's also a great way to your improvement, because seeking out critique actively is one of the best ways to improve.
Also, just stepping out of your comfort zone is also one very important thing to progress in any of your skills. So maybe the challenge is also send us your worst sketches. You know? Not the best, because the best will never be the best, because perfect is never perfect.
Yeah, and we cannot say anything about the best ones when you send us something amazing. When we can have, send us your worst ones. Then the value will be much higher. Okay.
Yeah, we got here great feedback from our community.
Oh, so glad.
And thank you all once again. We wish you a great evening, a great day.
Yeah, morning, evening, day.
Yeah, and we hope we see you tomorrow.
Stay safe. Mwah.
Bye bye.